Okay, well, hello friends, welcome back. Round 2. What I have done is the airplane was just entering the runway, so I've taken it back down, popped us back on the ramp. Engines are running, and we will just have to quickly check, replan, and then we can get going, which will probably be a little bit earlier than what is planned. Let me just see what's going on VATSIM. There is somebody touching down on the runway, so that's not the end of the world. There we go, a little EasyJet flight over there that appears to be stationary, which is a bit odd. Oh no, there they go. Well, at least the call sign was easy, and it is. Yeah, there they are, vacated. There's nobody else about, so we should be okay here on this ramp. We'll go for the same runway as well, but of course, got to do a quick check and run through. Of course, the engines are running, so we are rapidly losing the additional fuel that we had. Our minimum takeoff is 2178. We're probably going to need some extra because it's windy in Gibraltar. So, I have a feeling anything else that we need we can get en route. Let's get the current weather. Legs wise, the wind is light. We'll redo the performance. It is 8 degrees. Let's grab the current weather. There is no ATC. It's 10:30 Zulu weather, really? Oh yeah, no, it's only 11, isn't it? 10:30 Zulu variable at 2 knots, so we'll put a 2 knot tailwind in. Light rain, few at 1,000. Broken at 3,000. Temperature 5, dew point 4 if we are in wind 1022. We will, if we're in the rain, we will need to pop the engine anti-ice on. So 1022, 1022, not currently in any rain. We'll run through the checks in a moment. 81 set, 200 set. Not going to do N1 TO, so flight director off. Everything else should be set.
After start checklist, engine start checklist complete. Engine start checklist. After start checklist complete. After start checklist. Generator 1 and 2. On, checked AC and DC. Ignition. Disarmed. Packs. On. 14th stage. Open. Cowl anti-ice.
We've already done those. I just want to double check. Flight controls, full free, full left right, full free, correct.
Ground spoilers, flight spoilers, cowl anti-ice, supplemental ground fuel balance.
40 kilos.
Trims.
Set.
No steer.
Is armed.
Armed. APR. ADG unit. Supplemental ground wing cowl anti-ice. Wing anti-ice. 14th stage ice. Wing anti-ice. ATS. N1 TO. ATC TCAS. TARA. After start checklist complete.
Happy.
Taxi checklist next.
So 1022, and we're going to delete this out. Is it T2? Dry, yes. Engine bleeds, no, we'll be running off the APU. Field length 1100, so still suitable. Send through.
Taxi checklist. If taxiing the de-ice, pause checklist. Taxi checklist. Taxi lights. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required at the moment.
Brakes and steering. Reverse thrust. If taxiing the de-ice,
I'll tell you what, we will actually
de-ice checklist is complete.
we will go through, double check the reverse thrust. Actually, can I do it while I'm stationary? Don't see why not. It's probably not good for any potential FOD. Right, no, that's checked and fine. Brakes and steering, I've checked, they do work.
Flaps. 20. Altimeters. Set and cross check. Radar weather. On.
My radar's on.
Takeoff briefing.
It's going to be the same departure, so nothing else should have changed. 459 BLV ES. Departure wise it's 279, which 277 and then 279, so that's set and sensible. TO, I am going to arm nav. We'll probably do the same shortcut as we did yesterday. Nothing else to check. 2178. I think that makes it all good. So Volanta's running. Glenn, thanks for joining, mate. Sorry to see that you had some crash to desktop issues. Hopefully, without too much drama, we'll be alright. So let me just step through the legs. That should all still be there. Santu, intercept 27 Juliet. Yes, well, it's 228, 216, 215. Close enough. Disco, we'll do the rest of the cruise, and I'll make sure I don't screw that up. Happy days. I'm going to leave legs shown. V speeds are there. Good. So we're arguably ready to go. Takeoff briefing is the same as yesterday. Straight ahead. Initial runway heading to 1000. Turn right. 279 to Santu. Good. So 8000 set.
Taxi checklist complete. Before takeoff checklist next.
Okay, so time-wise we are all skew with. Brakes off.
Before takeoff checklist. Passenger signs. Advised on. Anti-collision light. On. Pros. On. Windshield heat. On. Wing and cowl anti-ice.
Not required initially.
Continuous ignition. On. ATC TCAS. TARA. Supplemental ground wing anti-ice plan. Checked. CAS. Takeoff config okay?
It is.
Landing pulse recog lights. On. Before takeoff checklist complete. After takeoff checklist next.
Happy. So not sure quite how much fuel we're going to be looking at. We can't do the out time. We can do the off time 11:30, but of course we're going to be early. But it is incredibly handy having the auto saves. Of course we could have resumed in flight, but that can be just as much of a disaster as anything else. So let's hold here, Delta 3. Oh well, yeah. I mean, it does make all the difference, Glenn. The fact that the autosaves are that good. Right, I'm just looking at my physical screen. Good enough. So 1228, radio wise, TXRX, yes. Bilbao traffic, prefect 99, entering backtrack, runway 28, Bilbao traffic. Look left, all clear. Look right, all clear. So, APU is open, left and right's closed, obviously 14th stage doesn't come off. I'm pretty sure the supplemental ground AMTOS, if you do have that on, it ticks off for departure. And then of course you take the 10th stage bleed for the engines without losing power off the APU. The background noise, no, it's probably my rubbish mic connection. I'll tell you what, I'll mute my mic and see if it goes away. What if that went away? I've been struggling for quite a while with, I think, more electrical noise than anything. And with the amount of cabling that I've got, it's difficult. I don't know if it's the cable length going from the headphones. Yeah, it's definitely that then, so I do apologise. Of course, I think in cruise it's probably less noticeable. So again, we'll go all the way down here to what looks like a bit of a misplaced hold, but of course the runway length should be taken from the displaced threshold here. What are we, 28 from threshold 1335? Oh no, maybe it is. It's taken from a lot further down. Anyway, we know we only need 1100. There we go, so brakes. Takeoff config is okay, that only goes off. Correct runway, correct heading. Bilbao traffic, prefect 99, taking off runway 28, AMTOS 2 Sierra departure, Bilbao traffic. It's going to be 11:15 departure. And we've got 2, 4, oh the fuel's going to be all over the place, let's call it 60. The minimum takeoff fuel 2178, so we've got a little bit of additional fuel which we may need because it's going to be windy at Gibraltar. We actually may end up diverting. Brakes off. 11:15, good enough. Hopefully there's nothing I've forgotten. 1TO. ASI is reading. V1. Rotate. Also 10 degrees, positive rate, gear up. So the flight director a little bit twitchy. So we're going to maintain heading. Safe height, safe speed, flap up. There's 1000, we can commence our right turn. It's only a gentle turn to the right. There we go.
takeoff checklist. Landing gear. Up. Flaps.
I had definitely pressed. Oh, just because I was on the wrong window. Key number 1 was not working.
0. Thruster resource. Off. Ignition. Off. Pressurization. Checked. Packs transition.
Right, let's go. Flight level change.
Completed.
Get the hell out of Dodge.
Climb set. APU generator. Off. APU. Shut down. Passenger signs.
Go 390, there's nobody online. The signs can stay on because it's might get a little bit bumpy. So let's take that shortcut. We're above 7 to AMTOS. Remember, that's what we were waiting for, above the MSA. Not in the sector we're in, it's only 6.2 in the sector we're in, but we are heading out to the left. And there's nobody about, so it really doesn't matter. We'll leave the seatbelts on just for you can see this spectacular rate of climb. Definitely don't want to be sat in the bench seats there. Passing 100, the lights can go off. Cabin out's 800, climbing at 5. Let's ease that vertical speed and pop the cowl on. Oh, there we go, continuous ignitions as well. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're enjoying the honeycomb, Glenn. It's a nice bit of kit. Let's just tidy this up. Okay, CAS, ignition AB, cowl, ice and APR still on.
After takeoff checklist complete.
APR should go off. Maybe it's just the fact that you've got a lot more throw on the honeycomb. So I'll keep the cowl ice on just as we pop through this cloud. LNAV, AP, flight director left, and then vertical speed 4, and we'll set flight level change 300. And we'll climb. There we go, we are heading straight en route again. And all the way down. So the weather, the wind at Gibraltar, 950 Zulu was 100, 26 gust, 38. That could be interesting. In reality, that might end up in a situation where it's from 110 round about 280, anything above about 24, 27 knots. Can almost be impossible to land, as I'm sure you've seen some of the videos. I don't know if it will be that bad in X-Plane, but we'll find out. We'll definitely carry through some additive, that's assuming that we can actually make it. So, overhead ATMOS, and we'll pay quite close attention to our fuel today. So, ATMOS at 3.6, we're at ATMOS at 2.0. So we are 16 minutes early. We've got 2260. So with 200 kilos light, so we might only have 15 minutes additional fuel. took off 15 with 2460. So that little shortcut has helped. We've gained another minute. Reduced the track miles a bit as well. So we've already passed 200. Cabin is at 27, climbing steady. Ignition's on, which can come off. Decent frame rate. Good. Now there is a segment for turbulence as well, which is pretty much just over Gibraltar in southern Spain there. So let's have a look. Severe turbulence forecast within a box, surface to flight level 70. So if that is modelled, we could be bumping around all over the place. So we may end up in a position where we do have to divert, and then our humble packs will have to, not only did they not make their trip yesterday, but they will have to get the bus or a taxi from Malaga. There's also no terms about the arrival with the replacement radar at Gibraltar. And is the mic noise audible over the engines? That'll be my task for this evening, try and figure that out. So 307.8, we're almost at changeover. What have we got? 10 in the centre. What's that about? So climbing decimal 78. So we'll get up to cruise, have a look at the NOTAMs, have a think about how we do those custom waypoints again, and try not to get it wrong. Be very, very careful this time. And then we got the challenge of actually getting in. Got a bit of traffic out to our left, 30 odd miles away. can't see that, but there it is. And there is that lock. I think somebody said, where's all the traffic? It's not showing up, but I think it's plus or minus 2,600, which of course you can change to effectively unlimited above or below, depending on whether you're climbing or descending. Sorry, Flying Moose, I don't have the TOLIS, and like anything, at the end of the day, it's all about how you set your own settings up. You're gonna have to make a compromise somewhere. There's a really good video on the Explain manual about optimizing your frame rates, and I don't see that it's realistic to be able to compare one aircraft with another. So often we'll see online people saying, oh my god, you know, my frames are terrible, I get great frames with TOLIS, or you can't really compare aeroplanes, they are all different. So if that's the one you fly mostly, then that's the one you need to optimize for as best you can. And as you've seen, it's not always as simple as you may think. Zoom level 18 tiles for me seem to max out my VRAM, and then that hits the CPU, so it looks like the CPU can't keep up, but actually it's just disastrous GPU management. So pick the most complex area you're going to be flying in, and just ensure that you aim for 30. You don't have to go crazy, but you want the worst place to be no less than 20. And that's about it really, unless they have any texture options like Hotstart do for this, where you can have the lower textured version, which of course I do, and that probably helps a little bit, but maybe not as much as we'd hoped. So, top of climb, interestingly just after the VOR on the flight plan. Still a little bit of traffic about. Somebody out to our 1 o'clock, 25 miles, clearly no factor. Yeah, I use Volanta. I mean, it's just quite a nice product. 39 checked. It's not perfect, but it's quite a good tool for tracking your flights and everything. I used to use Project Fly, but of course that turned into a disaster. LECP, where is LECP? Palmer, good, that's not us. Well, not good, it'd be nice to have some. It'd be nice to have some ATC. Gibraltar has been on before. Have we flown in when it's on? Yeah, Glenn, it's hang on, let me just stop that from flashing. There we go. So 29 overhead, and we have out captured, so let's dial up 82, and we're overhead with 2010, 200 kilos light, but then of course we've sat on the ground for a little bit of time mucking about. We are top of climb at 30, give or take, and 1990. So yes, the Challenger 650 it does open up a lot more interesting airfields. In some respects, the Phenom was even better. Now, if the Phenom 300 had this level of fidelity, I would probably, if the systems modelling etc. was as good as all of this, then I would probably still be flying that, because that can get into even smaller airfields. And actually, if you were going to have your own little jet, a single pilot capable light jet would be perfect in my mind. You know, to be able to get into somewhere like Shoreham, did that a while ago, makes it pretty impressive. So let's have a look. I know it was weather from a little while ago. Let's have a look at what we were getting there. 1050 Zulu. Let's find a page to scribble this down on, and we'll take a look at the fuel as well. See how much additional we've got on arrival. We have to put the extra legs in. We'll see what we've got. So 1050 Zulu 090 straight down the runway 26 gust 38. That's gonna be fun. 10k scattered at 3000 and broken at 21,000. Temperature 15, dew point 8, KNH 1010. So that's one thing I do need to do, is double check up here. 1010 is about 2986. So actually, ish, that'll do. Nothing else needs checking there. Delta P is 8.9. Cabin looks fine, good. So seatbelts off. All the lights are on. I miss flying the Concorde, but it was just, yeah, it just wasn't that much of a joy to hand fly when it should have been, to be honest. And I think that also caused my frames to tank at Heathrow, which was less than ideal. Right, let's have a look at our legs. So, inbound PIMOS, going up, up. And I think I deleted out my custom waypoints, so there should be nothing to choose from. Then we're going UNBUT. Oh no, I thought I deleted those out. I guess I didn't. And so, before I do that, decimate to half bank. Right, no taps. So, let's have a look at these. SRA 09 US, not quite. So, primary radar Gibraltar in sector 165 to 195 is blanked while they're installing the new radar. I don't know if you've seen the stuff online of the Chinook effectively delivering that radar up to the top of the hill. So, standard visual approaches for 09 can continue following the standard procedure. SRA can be provided, so we're going to have to mock up the SRA. Aircraft inbound from PIMOS can descend to 1500 feet as normal and be provided with vectors fine. As the aircraft approaches the blanking area, the control will terminate the service and instruct ONAV RIPRA, leave RIPRA 360. So, let's pop that in. There it is, and that's fine. That's not the end of the world. But now we need to do these and not get these wrong. So, RIPRA 360, and it's 5. I'm not going to call it anything either. 360, 5. That takes us to the 60 ME fix. Okay, that looks like it's gone wrong. And I really don't want to kill our arrival. Is that because it changed over? Anyway, let's just try UPMUP. Just gone onto a new page, yes. Let's try RIPRA. And then RIPRA. I don't think it's playing. That keeps going to the top of our legs, doesn't it? Maybe that's why we had the issue yesterday. Okay, so we can't get any DME. That's going to prove a little bit of a problem, because we need that 3-mile radar fix, and we're not going to get a TACAN either. Right, well, let's get up to RIPRA in. Yep. And then RIPRA. And then we're going to leave heading 360. Hope for the best. So I think we actually want to be at 1508, 1520. I'll leave that for now. Then let's have a look at our prog. Reserve 410, alternate, yes. So actually 660. We've got what appears to be more than enough fuel, which is what I was concerned about. Because we may need to try a few different approaches. Is it because I haven't got an arrival runway in here? Let's try that, shall we? So worst comes to the worst, 3-mile, let's actually do a 2-mile extension. What you'll see, RIPRA, discontinuity, 2 miles at 3 degrees, it's not, it's actually 2.8, but never mind. We need to aim to the left of that and turn slightly before it. So, yeah, that might be alright. So, top of descent, we've actually got loads of time, 200 miles. Traffic have we got out to our right? Just out of interest more than anything. That's Speedbird 40 Romeo Echo. Oh, they're going to the same place too. They are at 37, we're at 39, we're at 478, they're at 471. That's a pickle. Their planned TAS was 436. Ours is 477. Wonder if they've got real winds. That's one thing I can do is pop. Let's update the winds. Just to get the accurate fuels. Hardware moose, that should all be in the description. Just to give you an idea. And of course the big thing is you can't see it, but I do have a 21:9 monitor, which of course makes a bit of difference from a graphics perspective, with a bit more screen real estate. So that contact there, 2000 foot below, that one there, is inbound jib as well. So those are inbound, we've lost 10 kilos. That's fine. Then landing data wise, or performance wise I should say, 1230. So 12910 with 1230 on the fuel. Gives us 14.1, I'll call it 14.2. And let's just update the weather. So 1120 Zulu. I think they may be updating a little bit more frequently with the wind. 090. It's now 26, gust 40. Still 10 plus, scattered at 28. We've got ample when it comes to visibility in clouds, so that's not going to be a factor. Broken 21, yeah, I'm okay, I'm not really fussed about that. 15, 7, QNH1010. And you can see there's the TAF there that says that the wind is going to be strong all day. So, straight down the run at least, half the steady headwind component is plus 13. And then the gust is on 4, which is going to give us the max of plus 20. So, perf menu, approach 09, yes, wind 09026. We said the temp was 15. 1010. That lower pressure, that higher. No, 15 is fine, isn't it? So it's just the pressure. Yeah, because 3 HPA is about 90-100 feet. Increases the pressure altitude, which is a reduction in performance. Runway length 1631. And therefore at 14.2, which may get lighter and lighter. Idiot, there we go, that one. There's the speeds, comfortable for the landing distance, a VREF of 120, but actually we're going to be flying that at 140, which is not far off takeoff safety speed. Or sorry, second segment. So let's send those through. I know we're not flying the procedure, so it's going to technically be visual. The ceiling, it's a ceiling required of 1,000 feet, 5k. So the MDA is 1920, which I will pop in. Sorry, 920, not 1920. C and D, happy. Show about the Ortho with a bit of cloud down there. So 650 spare fuel, that is 45 minutes holding, so we get at least another 2 or 3, and of course it's just the wind that's going to prove a bit of a pickle. I am going to message this chap. I think we're going to be slightly ahead because we're creeping ahead by 10 knots. EIAB, so this lad's from Ireland. James O'Dowd. How far out? Might be able to see it. 2,000 foot below and about 10 miles, slightly to our right. Oh, so he's doing 458 on the ground. We're doing 4. About 10 knots quicker. I don't see him. Anybody else? Sorry, I was just chatting away there. Oh, don't want to end up outside. I think you probably see the contrail in reality. So we'll keep speed up all the way in. Try and track 360. I think it'll be a bit of a disaster because it's a challenging approach, and what you'd really need is that fix to know when to start the turn. Arrivals, 6 arrivals. There's people in front of us. This will be fun. And no ATC. In fairness, we could probably crank up to decimal 83, but that's not going to make a huge amount. That's probably going to give us another 5 knots. It's 458. We're sort of struggling with the wind. So approach-wise, we actually need about 700 feet a minute. That's going to reduce as we turn into wind to about 600 feet a minute because we'll be doing 120 across the ground. There's no TACAN available. Let me set to 113. 6. There's no nav aid. Also, that's interesting. That is picking up. Oh no, that's picking up Vigo. We're looking for 1136 GBR. Rip, you could do off another VOR. What's the distance on that? just 124, it gives you a cross, not much use. So with 5 inbounds we can probably do with some ATC. And of course, if it is quite turbulent, and we're all over the show with other aeroplanes zipping around, it could get quite interesting. Because the missed approach is simply straight ahead 090, climb to 4000, and then as directed. So we're going to ignore VNAV down to 1500, that's going to burn a bit of fuel. 1500 at RIPRA actually gives us 5-6 miles level until we get to 5 DME, which we can't quite tell. We could do with a crossing point, really, an intersection. We'll have a little bit of rough guidance, but not a huge amount. So still 650, which is, like I said, about 45 minutes holding. And that's before we actually have to divert to land with 410 at Malaga. Was it Malaga? Yes. Our alternate is Malaga, which is not that far away. So, do we want that on standby for nav 11715? Or is that going to be distracting? That will be alright. So we're 32 minutes out. So actually we should be about 5 miles ahead if we do an identical descent with the guy behind. Just about enough spacing, assuming he follows us in. So, everything looks fine up front. Wander through into the back. Sit in one of the company seats. Shut the door if you like. Is that the noise you're talking about? I don't know what that noise is. I don't think that's my mic. There you go. You see the screen. Why is the speed all over the place? Wood looks pretty steady. That bouncing around is a bit odd. I would imagine in reality you'd want to have a bit of dampening on that. So you can see top of descent coming up ahead. The MSA is 25 within the TACAN. 6825 and 39. 68 to the north. I think the highest point of the rock is only 1420. So parking wise, North April, we're not going to use the south, and so in reality what are we going to expect? So 09 with a turn back, people are going to be entering via Alpha, so actually we're going to go down the end and vacate left, so you've got a sort of one-way system going on there. That would make sense. North Apron is marked for a fast jet dispersal. Well, great. We'll definitely park up there then. Don't know if they finished the tunnel. I was trying to find a look yesterday to see if the airport tunnel had been finished, but apparently not. So this will be a fun test of VATSIM Unicom cooperation, which may or may not work depending on the ability of all of those involved. Don't forget we need to track 360, so heading will be a little bit off. Oh, all the clouds have gone, that's great. Still quite stuttery, but 44 just went up to 48 frames a second, which is frustrating. Would you say that was hazy? It looks a little bit hazy. So still 650 extra, nothing's changed there. I last had 1120, so 1150, 2637. Scattered 2.8, that hasn't changed. 10k hasn't changed. Broken 1.6. It was scattered 1.6, so it's getting thicker. 1.5. 2.8. But the QNH is still the same, so happy days. And while we're here, have a look. Actually going to load up the charts for the alternate. So we haven't put our routing in, but I think I'll end up just going direct to the VOR. Direct PIMOS, oh, and then PIMOS 1 Quebec. Where's that then? PIMOS 1 Quebec, right, pin that. And what runways? 1, 2 and 1, 3. Why don't I give you a better view? There we go. Airport. 1, 2, 1, 3 doesn't really matter which, arguably. I'd imagine landing on 1, 2. General aviation stands are off 1, 3. So that would be ideal for us. Rather than having to cross across, I guess that's what they would do. Good, so we've got our alternate. Thinking about it anyway, and of course, as you can see there, relatively light winds, well 101.7, 30 degrees off, half headwind, half cross, with some variability, so a bit of turbulence and X-plane, a few at 040, so a nice VFR VMC day. So we will keep the speed up in the descent. So let's set 100. On VNav, set VNav speed. Let's see how that manages that. Car, hello, thanks for, I assume as a new sub. I do apologise if I have not seen you on here before. So, approaching top of descent, we have talked and briefed about what we're going to do. It is going to be a little bit off the cuff. We said 1010. Not that there's much to tune there. What I will do is I will cheekily do that now on the standby. One less thing to worry about. Of course it's quick and easy in reality, but it means taking my eye off the ball. Oh, well that's very kind, you're very welcome. I hope you enjoy them. There we go, top of descent. Interesting that it hasn't wound. Oh, it just bugs it straight back like that, okay. Just want to see how much of an increase there is. Oh, Switzerland. Well, greetings back. Yeah, this is just me hoofing around, so I'm not type rated, nowhere near a pro, but I hope it gives a good showcase for anyone that wants to get it, and I would say it's well worth getting. So, where are we at R? R is the Martin VOR, weird. And then it's direct PIMOS. How high are we going to be overhead? A PIMOS. Really? 5130. Oh dear, right, no, we need to be lower than that. I want to be 1500 at RIPRO. So we're probably going to need some speed brake. Should have checked that. Discontinuity, we'll figure it out. So we're in V pitch. Okay. Right, let's... Actually, no. There's VFLC. See if we can get away with just a dirty dive. It's not the end of the world. That should increase our rate of descent quite spectacularly, because it's now an idle path descent. Pitch for 7.8 and then change over at 300. There you go, look, 4,000 feet a minute, we should catch the path back up. So, severe turbulence forecast. Get the seatbelt signs on.
Descent checklist. Shoulder harness.
Don't have one, but we'd secure them if we did.
Passenger signs.
Let's pop those on.
Pressurization.
So, landing field pressure set, checked.
Fuel quantity and balance.
With 60 kilos different, which is interesting. Not really anything to worry about.
FMS, landing data, charts.
We've discussed, and we've got them available.
Approach briefing.
We've also discussed that.
VNAV transition flight level.
Still should be 7.0 today, I think. It might be 6.5. Anyway, it doesn't really matter.
Descent checklist complete. In range checklist next.
There you go, VPath, change over to 300, happy. So that all worked out. Cabin's descending at 300 feet per minute. It's relatively comfortable. So, still no ATC. Let's have a look and see who's doing what. Where are they? So, somebody's just left. We've got one ahead of us, two behind. Happy days. I was kind of hoping the other guy would sneak in front just so we get an idea of the conditions. But never mind. So you can see the airplane bouncing around in that turbulence. Let's pop curve on, just to smooth that curve out, and I think you can actually, if you look on the study menu for the autopilot, when you hit that you see that there's a difference in the curve, which again, the modelling is just incredible. So there's RIPRO. What I might do is just close that discontinuity, but we will be in heading by then. Okay. No idea, glad that didn't break the sim. So that will actually take us a little bit too close in, and the turn will be a bit horrific, so we'll be doing that manually. Wind-wise, nothing has changed. It's plus 11. So August, that's still more than 20. And what was our VREF? Our VREF was 120, wasn't it? Temperature still 15, hasn't changed. 1010. Yes, 120. So frequency set, we are picking no DME up off the TACAN, as you can see. Just, no, you might not be able to see. I can see it, but there it is, the 1136. 1136, no DME. I put that on the Challenger forums. I don't know if it's an explained limitation or not, but we should be able to pick the DME up. You can see we're passing a beam Malaga. So let's pop those on. Ah, there we go. Excellent transition. Didn't need to. So we need to be below 290 and below, I think, flight level 200 to start the APU. Not really a concern at the moment, but we'll start at flight level 100, hence the beam for the lights, sterile cockpit and everything else. We're not cleared for anything else. 100 is a good one to set. I suppose you could set 18,000 as well in the US just to give yourself the notification. I know you get the flashing once you go past the transition level. Oh, great. Pop the ice on PDQ. Let's drop the frames a bit. Down to 27. GPU's working hard. And we are on high performance. So I've got the meta on my phone, which I'm going to refresh. I know that's not very... who was that? 492 uniform. But it's looking pretty good. So 30 and then it dips down. Be happy with a steady 30. One thing I suppose I didn't set was we want Ripper at least one stage of flap. We're going to really be dragging it in. I wonder if that'll make any difference to the path. So we want to be 180 at Ripper. Just as a backup there, probably not going to need it. Certainly not going to hoof it in with VNAV. We're going to be level and then on our own. Yeah, good. So the airplane's bringing the speed back. I probably would have done it a little bit earlier. But we're going to be overhead PIMOS at about flight level 100. little bit less fuel now, extra, but still quite a lot. Gibraltar traffic, Prefect 99 overhead, PIMOS, flight level 115, descending altitude 1500, RIPRA inbound, visual 09, Gibraltar traffic.
In range checklist. APU. Started. Altimeters.
So, let's descend 1500.
Reset, cross-checked. Avionics.
Checked, set.
External lights.
There we go, 10 miles. Frames are a little bit sketchy. Let's pop those lights on.
N1 target.
Can we set that yet? No. So I'm going to bring it back to 240, and you can see, look, that's the airplane bouncing around in all turbulence. Are we missing anything? All perfect, haven't we? So let's start bringing the speed back. 23 miles to go. It's only 5 minutes. Gibraltar traffic, Prefect 99 overhead, UPMUP, flight level 80. So I'm going to set 360, 180. Going to need about 10 degrees of drift. So let's set 010 and see how we get on. We'll adjust as necessary. Oh, because weird.
Set.
So that deleted our perf.
Pax transition.
Let's dry off.
Avail
Those have been sent through.
APU generator. On.
Still there.
Pass.
Checked clear.
Range checklist complete. Before landing checklist next.
Still 1150. I shall tell you what, we'll do 360 initially. Then Let's do it properly. It's correct for that drift. And you'll see what we really want to be doing is tracking out and then turning onto the runway there. It may not work. So we're in IMC, but we are definitely over the sea. We're not going to hit anything. So remember friends, we do not say clear, only for a takeoff clearance. Tenerife Ed is asked to change that phraseology. It's always runway vacated. So let's start bringing the speed back to at least try and get the airplane somewhat stable. Let's use a little bit of speed brake to help. Gibraltar traffic, prefect 99, overhead at RIPRA, altitude 2,000 feet, inbound visual 09. So let's come back to 140. So approaching 200, speed brakes in, flap 20. And I actually want heading now. There you go. Actually, that wasn't a bad guess for tracking 360. Let's take 160 because we've got a little bit of distance to go. We've been calling, so if the guy behind can't sort his spacing out, I'm quite sure that that's our problem. But it does mean he may cut in.
Before landing checklist. Landing gear lever. Down indicating. No steer. Arm center clear. Anti-skid. Armed tested. Passenger signs. On. Wing cowl anti-ice.
Not required.
Continuous ignition. On. Thrust reversers. Armed. Spoilers.
Can we see the buoy?
Stowed auto. Flaps.
Not yet. It should be out there somewhere. Really? Oh well, the joys of VATSIM. So we're waiting on the landing flap. We do need that radar fix. Let's go landing flap 140 VREF.
Set. CAS.
Checked.
Before landing checklist complete. After landing checklist next.
Border traffic, prefect 99, 3 mile final, runway 09. So flight director off. So 700-800 feet. You can see the runway. Nice and turbulent.
Approaching minimums.
So you still could be IMC at this point. How fun is that? There we go, we are too high. So increase the rate of descent, not too much. What's disappointing is I can't see the buoy. There you go, correct. There it is. Just needed to be able to see it a lot further out. Oh, that was a little bit flat. So down to the end, vacate left. $60 knots reverser stowed. That'll be an interesting replay. I think I just about caught it. So it's easier to spot that buoy to spot that buoy at night. Gibraltar traffic, prefect 99, runway vacated. $12.29 landing really, 1200.
After landing checklist. Landing pulse recog lights. Off. Anti-collision lights. Off. Continuous ignition. Off. Windshield heat. Off. Probes.
Guideline not calling up final, not calling up
Off.
anything.
Wing anti-ice.
It's a bit tragic
Off.
really, why bother flying online?
Anti-ice.
So we're going to park up over here.
Spoilers. Stowed. Flaps. 0. ATC TCAS. Alt on. Radar mode. Standby. After landing checklist complete. Engine shutdown checklist next.
I'm going to cheat, brace your ears. None of those are perfect, are they? So actually what we want to do, I think, is do a left, then a right onto the middle. I think I've just blocked the place up, but never mind. Brake set, we're on standard 3-1 with 1180. Let's give hot start a call.
Engine shutdown checklist. Taxi
Hot start
left.
flight support.
Off.
Jenny
Parking
speaking.
brake.
How can we help?
Set. Reverse thrust. Stowed. Generators 1 and 2.
Understood. We'll have that ready for you. Anything else?
Nope.
Always a pleasure. Take care.
Off. Engine 2 shut down. Fuel boost pumps. Off. Fuel system.
So we are waiting for right low pressure, which we have.
1 shutdown. Check ITT below 350 degrees Celsius.
Checked.
Anti-ice. Off. 14th stage.
Oh, that's me.
Off. Beacon.
Well, that's also me for some reason.
Off. No steer. Off. ATC TCAS. Standby 0. Parking brake if chalked.
So we'll turn that off in a moment.
Passenger signs. Off. Cabin differential. 0 PSI. Engine shutdown checklist complete. Securing checklist next.
Happy days. So Volanta said we touched down minus 43 feet per minute, 96 knots. That is, of course, because of the fun of the wind there with the ground speed. Where'd the other lad go? Did he go into the sea? Today was not the day. So, let's open up the door. Let's go do the pins, probes, covers. We'll have a look at the replay, which will look sporting.
Airport taxis here. Thank you, Captain. Great flight as always.
He must have been on a different flight. I would expect it to be running out of sick bags today. So, nose pin. There goes what looks like a Mercedes, but for copyright purposes, international copyright law, it is not. Bit noisy, apologies if this is affecting your ears. Always have some ear defenders ready. So pins in, covers on. Secure the aeroplane.
Secure and checklist. Emergency lights.
Off.
AC/DC utility switch.
Out. No, sorry, in, off.
Headsets. Thrust reversers.
Disarmed.
Shocks.
They are in.
Parking brake.
Off.
Hydraulic pumps.
All off.
Nav lights. Logo light.
Nav lights on, logo lights off.
APU generator.
We'll do that in a minute.
APU start stop.
And that.
Packs.
Then those.
LCV. 10th stage isolation valve.
Then those.
APU power fuel. ICAS battery master. Cockpit refuel panel.
There we go. That can come off.
Service lights. Pins and covers.
We've done.
Securing checklist complete.
So we've got 11:30. If you stop. Packs. LCV. 10th stage. Wait for that to shut down. And the same with the power fuel, but we'll leave the battery on till that runs through its shutdown check. Evening clouds, hello. These are relatively simple. Just put in the registration. I'm surprised that this isn't covered in the VATSIM exam, to be honest. There should be some resources on there, or have a little bit of a Google. I'm sure somebody must have asked these sort of basic questions about VATSIM before. They have got forums as well. But yeah, normally for a light aircraft, you would just use the aircraft call sign. You can look up the type as well for ICAO types. probably just via Google. So, welcome to Gibraltar, friends. That was fun and sporting. It went better than I expected, to be honest. If we look at the track, that's not a bad track. The turn and the descent was a little bit messy. The 3 mile point would have been the trigger, the radar fix, so you'd be past that 3 miles by ATC. That would have been a nice point to have to start the descent. That's why we ended up a little bit high. Apart from that, and obviously we ended up over the yellow buoy. Being able to see that helps quite significantly, and at night it's a yellow light, so it just helps you line up and do that on your turn, because there is no approach lighting here. There was on the default scenery, which was cheating it in my opinion. So the APU ICAS has gone, so that means it's shut down. We can turn the aircraft off, and let's have a watch of that replay. So disconnect from VATSIM, replay mode, that'll do. So why don't we do one from the tower? Yeah, that'll do. Let's watch the airplane come around the turn, shall we? Red, hometown. I like Gibraltar. I've only been once. Great place. Home country. So those artifacts are just because of enhanced skyscapes. So you can see it bouncing around all over the place. I like to think in reality you'd be able to feel it a little bit better, so it wouldn't be as agricultural. Although I don't know, I've had students that have done approaches like this. Okay, that was not perfect, but you know what? That was alright. The scenery's not bad either. Let's roll that back and see it a little bit closer. A bit of skip, a little bit of flat, but hey, we got down. Well, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. It was certainly interesting. I'm glad we made it. Like I say, apologies for the other day. But we're here now, and we'll probably be flying out at some point. Probably won't be today, maybe later. And I'm not sure where we go next. So, as always, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Whatever you get up to with the rest of your day, make it count. It's my inspirational speech for the day. But in all seriousness, take care. I appreciate the support, and until next time, bye for now.